it is my pleasure to introduce our second speaker today, Steve MacEachern, who will be giving us a bit of a pathways education, which I think most of us need. So, Steve MacEachern is a brand specialist that likes to draw pictures, ride his bike, and play ice hockey. He's almost 6 decades old. Looking forward to spring, one of his true pleasures in life is pulling dandelions. There is nothing more satisfying than getting the entire root. I totally agree with that. He has broken many a tool in the process over the years and considers himself the original weed man. And here he is with his speech. Let's take a stroll down the new pathways. Steve, take it away.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and most honored guests. This is a real privilege for me to be here today. I can't believe the quality of presentation that I'm seeing. It really is something, from the humorous to Sandra's incredible speech to the improv. You've got such a great talented group. I'm sure you should be getting all your DCP points. It's just a probably little glitch that you haven't moved over to the technology. So what I want to do is start sharing my screen, and it says that I am sharing. So just let me know, please, if you can all see this.
Yeah.
This is Toastmasters.org, which is your main portal for pathways. Now, when you want to prevail with your Toastmasters journey, you need to go in here, choose a path, follow the structure within this, and that's half the journey. The other half is the people and the feedback they give you in that incredible environment that you already have. So even though you folks aren't doing this, you're already halfway there. So don't be discouraged. It's a very straight process. There are little glitches I'm going to show you as we move through it, but I'm sure we'll all be able to get on board after this presentation. We'll see. So here's the page. What you want to do is log in. You'll get your login information from your VP of membership. You'll get a password you have to put in there. You go password 1, 2, 3, log in, and we'll pause for a moment while it thinks. And here we are, boom. This is your page, your portal. Now there's a few glitches with it. As you'll notice, this is where you want to be with your base camp, your learning hub, all these tools, but that's not the home page. So if I click on this and I go back to the home page, boom, I'm back to this. Oh no, what's going on here? Where's all my stuff? I don't know where it is. It's in here. It's under this login up here. So it will say, welcome Sandra, or whoever it is. You go to my home. So now I'm a graphic designer, a UI person. I've reached out to Toastmasters on a few of their glitches just to help the whole process. And they always say, what are you talking about? You're ridiculous.
Yeah.
So here we are at our page. We've logged in, boom. When you first start out, the first thing you want to go is to this learning hub. So I would suggest writing this down. You go to the learning hub. This will start you off. You click on learning hub. Now, as I go through this, please just shout out any questions. I can't see any responses or anything. You're all hidden because I'm doing full screen here. So just yell at me and I'll stop and address your questions. So to start, you need to choose a path. This is where you start. You choose a path, you choose your language that's preferred, and then you want digital resources. You can select the print materials, but you can always print from these digital resources. So that's the way to go. You save the extra 20.
Steve, they're not even going to keep the printed versions going.
Okay.
They're stopping that now.
Okay, so there we are. It sounds like someone else should be presenting this and not me, but yes. So go digital resources, and then you have to make some kind of choice here. You want to view the path options, hit continue, and then boom, this will show you all the paths. Now this is a great tool. You see, I've got 2 paths that are in the go. I started with engaging humor. I'm trying to finish that off and become funny. I don't know. It's not really taking, but Each one of these have really specific things that they focus on, and they also have a lot of stuff that carries on similar from path to path. So if you've chosen one, don't worry, you're still going to get a lot of those great things from Toastmasters within each path. And what you can do is, if you want to figure out what each one of these is, you just go in and click. It gives you an overview of what this is. If you want to really work on your presentations and everything for that corporate or those TED Talk type environments, this might be a good one. And then you can go in and actually view everything in this. It tells you all the speeches you have to do and even the elective projects right on through to your level 5. So the one thing about these paths is there's a lot of repetition. When you start with a level 1, each one of these has the same level 1. So you start with your icebreaker, the speech structure, those kind of things. And even into the electives, a lot of the stuff might be the same. You can create a podcast in all of them, build that social presence. So I wouldn't worry too much about doing all of these things. You'll have a minimum that you have to meet within the elective project. I would just go with the minimum, get your second path going, you do the 2 paths, you're done, then you can be a DTM, much like I think Sandra probably is.
Yeah, Brenda and Sandra both.
Okay, well, there you are. What did I say? Yes. So what you would do is, if we like this, we're going to go back. So I'm going to click this one, and then I'm going to continue. I'm going to continue, and then I'm going to go through the whole process, do my purchase, make sure that I've got the order. Once that is complete, then we're ready to start. So you have to do this. You've got to check your path. You have to choose at least one so that you have some structure to follow. And now what we'll do is we'll go back to show you how you take advantage of using these paths. And with Toastmasters, there's a disconnect. So where all your information is in the path, it's in Basecamp, but it doesn't talk to the main Toastmaster website. So you've got these 2 streams that are separate. You have to really keep that in mind. So what you want to do is, after you've chosen your Learning Hub, you go to Basecamp. And this is where you're going to get all your learning materials and go through the thing. So in Basecamp, you see I have my club. I also have a Basecamp manager club, or a manager login, so that I can go in and help with some of those club details, the approvals of levels, those kind of things. So we are in Basecamp now. It's a totally different, so you see we're no longer on toastmasters.org. We're at this csod.com thing. It's a completely separate website. You have to keep that in mind. And there's 2 areas I think we want to focus on here. It is your paths and learning. So once you order one, it will come up here. This is where you're going to be. And then also this My Documents portal. So you want to be aware of this My Documents portal, and it's separate from your path and learning. So we're going to just jump into one of these. This is engaging humor, and we can see how well I'm doing. You would expect me to be funnier, right? So we've gone through, I'm working on level 5. I've actually got one of the electives in here. So if I go to level 5, it'll show, this is the overview. So whenever you hit one of these levels, you'll come into the overview of everything that's required within that path. You would launch this and go through the program. So what I'm going to do is launch it and show you all the elements that are within one of these paths. And this is where you get the really great structure from Toastmasters. There's all kinds of fantastic learning tools that you can really take advantage of. There's a couple little glitches. So if you see, I start off at the start, I assess my skills beforehand. And down here in this drop down, you can see this is where I am. I'm assessing my skills beforehand. So you could kick into the introduction. Now, so you saw that I wasn't at the introduction because I have had this path open and been working in it before. So here's our introduction. You go through your assignment, you get your project checklist, you can click on that, download it, gives you an overview and purpose of the project. I can also access that in this little drop down menu here if it's going to work. There we are. So you see, it's the same point. I'm at your assignment. So assess our skills. Now this, I really want you to pay attention to, because you go through and assess your skills at the start. You make sure that you've done them all. I've done them all, bloop, bloop, bloop. And then once I move on from this, it is already set. You see how all those things were taken. But if I come back to this project at a later date, you'll notice at the end, there's an assess your skills after. But I may have done the work and then thinking, okay, I'm just going to leave it and then come back. And then I open up again. It's like, oh yeah, I got to assess my skills, not thinking you did it before. So if you go through and assess your skills again and submit, that will close the path. So you want to make sure, and then that'll cause a problem because it'll get pushed through. It might be the end of a project that you haven't even started or whatever. So be very aware of where you are within this structure. Don't go just clicking through assess your skills after. They should have set this up that it's a different interface, a before and after bit, but that's one of the glitches that we're dealing with.
Steve, can I ask you?
Yeah.
Because it's Sandra here. So when I first did my first one and got lost in here,
yep,
I went right on through and assessed the whole thing right on through to after. Yep. And Judy, being education at the time, said, Sandra, you haven't done all those things. I'm not giving you credit. Thank you very much. So it didn't close it out at that time. Hopefully it still wouldn't. So I had to go back and actually do, because I just didn't know what I was doing on the computer.
Yeah. So then she would have pushed you back in the project. So that's exactly what happened, right? Because they had this poor interface where at the end, I've reached out to Toastmasters and said, you really have to have a button at the end that is submit for completion. But they don't. They just have this weird little setup that they have going. So then she would push it back. Then you'd have to go through and enter it again. And Toastmasters, like, it creates a problem. They have to go in and manually approve or whatever. So really be careful on where you are within this structure, and don't go, like, be so aware of this assess your skills after kind of thing. But anyway, so the actual project, all of this is so valuable. It's got the overview, what you're going to work out, the style of speech you're going to be going with, your prep before, and then these little tidbits on what you want to do during. They have a story collection tool, which is a big thing in humorous, well, in speaking, where you collect those tools so that you have that. If someone does a little thing asking you what your book is, oh yeah, okay, here's my book. I've done this kind of thing before. So very valuable stuff. You've got your worksheet that you go through. You can download all that kind of stuff. Structure on creating your speech, and then the different elements of your speech. So body language. I saw the incredible body language that you folks were using within like that humorous story. It was fantastic. So really great stuff. You're doing all that. You understand it. You've been through the content before, maybe not here. Might have been a member shared stuff with you. So there's our collection story, the preparation. It's beyond the writing, right? We're delivering. We're not just reading off whatever the stuff is that we've written. So all kinds of great content here. You really want to go through all this, make sure you understand it all, start building out your speech. It'll give you lots of little tidbits. There's all kinds of elements in here. There's video. So what I would do, I would suggest that you log into here in Chrome, because that will run the video. If you're in Firefox, you won't be able to see the video content. A little bit of a glitch they've got going there. And that's basically the run through of pathways. So if you like printed materials, you can go in there and get all the kind of printed materials and stuff that are there. This is your evaluation resource, your print my project, the worksheet, all that kind of stuff. So for people that like print, it's great. You can still go in here. You can save out the PDFs, whatever you want to do. And you can see how I'm using this to navigate, right? Like, this is all just part of my project. So That's the run through. Now they've got another little glitch where they broke the button. You can see I've got a new window up here. I can't go back. I have to actually close that project off if I don't want it. If I went and did that last assignment or did that last assessment, it would set it up that I could actually approve this project. Since it's the last one, I could complete it, and then it would go to my VP of Ed. Now I can show you other ones where I've done the whole thing. It's got all that. So you see, this is actually that last point, which it's not a speech or anything. This is their button to put the project forward that it will be approved. So I'm going to pause right there just to see any thoughts or anything. Please just.
I do have a question, Steve. It's Brenda here.
Yep.
Should we be providing proof to our VP of Education that all of these items have been done in that particular level?
So what you want to do is, now that we've gone through here, let's see if I can get back out to yes. So once you've done your speech and everything, you would go to your documents, and whatever level you're at, you would go in and upload those files, so that you've got your assessment. You can see right here, here's my evaluations. They're all here for level 1. I've got my 3 things. So if your VP of Ed said, hey, I didn't see you do that, or you did it out at a different club, you've got your evaluation, it's in here, boom. You can see the comments and everything, and just this amazing, I'm only showing you this one because I crushed it, but other than that, you've got the information, so you can say, oh no, I've got all my credentials here, we're set up. You can approve the level.
Did you say we put them over in there?
You put them in, yes. So what you would do is you go to my documents. So this is your thing, right? So we're here at, so I can run through it again. So let's try it. I'm going to go back out to Toastmasters.org. Now I'm already signed in, right? So that you see that we're on the main page here. I'm signed in. I go to my home.
Okay.
Okay, my home, very important. You log in, my home. This is it. So you can see it's toastmasters.org/myhome. That's where you want to be. And then Basecamp.
Okay.
Go to Basecamp. So we're going to click into there. Then you're going to, I don't know if you're just one, if you're not part of the executive, if it would automatically kick you in or not. I have to hit another button. I'm into Basecamp for myself. And then in here has my documents, right? So my documents.
Well, I see paths and learning, but I'm not seeing your documents.
You seeing it over here? This
on the right.
Out to the right. Yeah. So you see my feedback, my badges, my documents.
Way over there. Okay, sorry.
Exactly. Another thing that I flagged with them, because my documents should actually be in part of each of these levels, right? It should be in engaging humor so that all the stuff's there. I go into my documents, and now it's like, oh, just level 1s. It's like, come on, what am I going to do? I'm going to start throwing in all other level 1s when it's not just the engaging humor. And then I got to put all the other ones in, and so this is another glitch thing they've got going on. They've got like 7 glitches. So this
for being the kings of communication, they drive me crazy.
Yeah. So you see, it is confusing where you've got these different things going on. But this is your Basecamp main page. You want to make sure that you're in here. This is the link. This is the main page that you want to be in, so that you can. I've started off another one. I'm opening this. So now this is another thing I wanted to show you. You do not have to do these speeches in order.
Mm-hmm.
You'll notice that I went in here, and then I've already done 2 electives within this visionary communication. So I could even close this level off. I got one more thing. I just have to launch this baby, get it done, and then do the little completion thing. And then level 3 is done. Our club will not get the credit for level 3 until I complete levels 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
So then once I complete level 1 and put it in, complete level 2, put it in, then our club will get completion. So I can go through now for the managers, if you like, on how to approve things. Did you
Just
want me to
before
go
you
through?
do that, Steve,
Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but on the My Documents, how do you get
Yeah.
your evaluations over from our Belleville Speakeasy Club?
So you will download those. So the person will download those, and then they will go into their My Documents. They'll come in here, and then they'll upload.
So you have to
So
physically
add
download it
file.
to your computer and then
Yeah.
upload it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then add file.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah, it's a pain. It really is. So and that's another website that's totally removed again. So you see they've got this three-headed animal where none of it really talks together, and it's hard to keep. What is it? Easy Speak or Speak Easy? Easy Speak up to date with
Easy
this.
Speak. Yeah.
Yeah, because people, guests are going and all that. You can't really get a good, accurate stuff. I was VP of Ed.
They're saying there's just too much going on,
Yeah.
and I can't get my head around it.
You know what?
Could I just interrupt for just a second? You're
Sure.
talking about the admins, and I know the meeting is
Yeah.
coming to a close. I know
Yes.
Hannah has to leave right on time.
Okay.
And Loveleen, maybe Loveleen likes to hang around, but if we could adjourn the official meeting possibly
Sure.
and continue on for those who can stay, particularly the admin people that need to know a little bit more about this, that might be a possibility.
Yes.
So nobody feels bad leaving in the middle of a meeting.
Yeah, because there is a trickiness with approving. You have to approve in 2 places. If you don't, you won't get the credit. So there
will that
is.
work? I mean, that way we can let Hannah, maybe you can give us a little bit of an idea of what you thought of the meeting, and Loveleen as our 2 guests.
Wow, Steve, thank you very much for that very enlightening presentation that you gave. And I look forward, maybe I can get a copy of your recording that I can follow the in. This Easy Speak is just fantastic. Thank you. Pathways is just fantastic. Thank you very much and goodbye.